In this video, we will discuss survey queries. A survey query allows you to search a survey database's points and figures that meet a specified series of conditions. A survey query is associated with and saved in the survey database. However, you also have the ability to save a query to an external file and then import the query into other survey databases. A survey query can only query the points and figures within the current database. Let's go ahead and make it. Go ahead and right-click Proj 1 and choose Open for Edit. I already have mine open. Let's go ahead and navigate to the Survey Queries collection, right-click and choose New. Let's look at the ability to open from a file, import, export, and even add to a surface. We'll go ahead and click on New. And what happens is you get a Survey Query Builder. It's a palette that you can dock. You'll also notice that the ribbon becomes a contextual ribbon that contains survey query type tools. But for now, let's just go ahead and create a brand new one. Let's say, for whatever reason, I need a survey query for my boundary points and my top of slope and bottom of slope. Because I want to create a surface out of these, or I want to display them or query them and then view them afterwards. The first thing you want to do is click on the property in the points here. Notice the option to use any of these types of properties to query any of the point data. We'll go ahead and pick description. And then if you look at the operator dropdown, you'll notice you have the ability to query in any sort of way, whether it's equal to, not equal to, contains, etc. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to actually start out with the operator that says starts with. And the code for boundary points is BNDY. Now let's look at the figures query. For this one here, what I want to do is I want to add two. One that has the name TS and one that has the name BS, because that's top of slope and bottom of slope's description. We'll go ahead and click on the drop down here. We'll go ahead and click name. That says contains, but notice the option is to select any one of these operators. And we'll go ahead and give this a first one of TS. Press enter. And let's go ahead and click another property that says or, right? So if you look here, we can actually do and, which would imply that it has to contain both those properties, both those values. In this case, we want to do or, which then allows you to say, hey, you know what? Pick one that has TS or one that has a name of BS as well. And as you can see, you can basically just keep going down the line if you wanted to add more. If I turn auto hide off for a second here, hover back in here for a second, you can click on preview in drawing and you'll notice that it automatically fits the view for you and you can see it. These are not actually in the file. If I go ahead and select these, notice how they're not there. I can still zoom in and zoom out, which is very nice. And you have this option right here to dismiss that. And then the query is still in here. If you wanted to save this as an external file to, let's say, be used in another survey database, you could click here. For now, this is going to be stored in just this survey database. I'll go ahead and click on Save Query. There's the query. Notice how this still stays open. We can go ahead and close this. Now, we also have the option to pick the query from the drop down here. This will read the survey database. And then you can actually display it in an editor, or you could actually insert this data into the drawing. And there is our line work, top of slope, bottom of slope, and the boundary points, as you can see here. What's also very nice is the ability to add to a surface. So let's say you have a specific set of queries that you want to actually create a surface from. You can click Add to Surface. First, you would select the surface to add it to. I don't have one in this drawing, and that's fine. But what's very nice is the ability to actually define how the objects in the surface will update. You can insert them into the drawing as static objects. They will no longer talk to the actual database. However, this is very nice. You can actually reference the survey database for dynamic query results. It'll actually not put them in the file, and it'll just reference the survey database. If that's what you want, you just pick that option and click OK.